Welcome to episode 132 of Outside the Circle, a podcast dedicated to new and upcoming country artists, musicians, and songwriters. Today's guest will be Tyler Conti. We'll get to him in a little bit, but first, I'm Ronnie, and here's Brian.
What's happening, man? How is everybody doing? Yeah, we're back at it. What are we, 132? Yeah, I mean, nothing really to write home about here on this side. We did actually this over the weekend. We were able to play that farm show. That was a good time. Talking to the farm owner, he said they had like 500 people roll through there.
Yeah, I was kind of paying attention, kind of sitting in the background, and the area that you were playing in definitely had a lot more traffic than like foot traffic than years past. I mean, granted, last year was a bit of a rain out and whatever, but yeah, no, there was it felt like it was constantly moving and people coming in and out, and yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was a good day. It was beautiful weather for it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm really finding my own at these like farm show things. I think that's my niche. I'm not really into the bars at 3 a.m. type of stuff anymore. So I really like these farm festival shows.
Yeah, yeah. When you get to be home at 4 p.m., sit on the back porch and turn the grill on for dinner, that's those are the ideal shows.
Yeah, no, man, and that was a good time. And like you said, the weather was great, and yeah, I enjoyed that one. I mean, the next day I felt pretty sore. I hadn't played out in quite a while, so the fingers definitely took a bit of a beating over that 2.5 hours of playing. But no, man, it was great, and I'm actually looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was cool. Like I said, good turnout. A bunch of friends and stuff came by. That was awesome to see some familiar faces. Um, yeah, no, it was cool. And yeah, is there another one on deck or not yet?
Yeah, well, they have two more. I'm not available for the first one, but I think they're doing one in like mid-October. We're probably gonna do that one.
Nice.
Betas though, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, nothing really on my end either. The summer's completely over, thankfully, in camp world. So the last it's crazy to think camp is only 8 weeks long, like the actual season of camp. This Monday today, so it's Monday the 16th today has been 5 weeks since camp ended. So we're already halfway over the camp time since it's ended. It's wild how crazy time has gone. Um, but but I did get on side note, for those looking on a thing, I got the first copy of the new book. So that'll be, I don't know, I gotta go through that and get that out. But um but yeah, other than that, it's been kind of boring on this end.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, did you ever think you were gonna have two books out in the world for people to read?
No, so I say this all the time. My bucket list goal was to publish a book. I did that. Funny enough, September 30th of 2022 was that published date. Um, I always thought I'd like continue to write, but nothing like worth putting together. And from August of last year to essentially today, I made a new edit to the new so like this copy is 4 pages shy of the edit I made today. So there's 4 new pages as of today. Um, but yeah, I mean I didn't plan on a second book, and I woke up and like I don't know, maybe like February, after from like August to February I wrote so much, and then I was like, I guess there's another book coming. And I think I'm gonna release it on September 30th, so I stick with the theme.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to the trilogy.
I don't know about all that. I mean, maybe a whole book dedicated to poems about country music and podcasting. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, no. So Tyler Conti, another one we did before the summer started. Um, really, really great interview. Very personal, very deep, very I very much enjoyed talking to Tyler, and um there's a lot of similarities between him and I, while at the same time having complete differences that I think made our conversations pretty intense. And we always talk about how we stop recording and continue talking to whoever we're talking to. um I'm not even exaggerating. I think we talked for 3 hours. So Tyler's a great guy, great artist, and I'm glad to finally be able to put this out there for people.
Nice, man. Yeah, it was a really great one. And yeah, let's go right to it.
All right, everyone. We're here today with singer-songwriter Tyler Conti. Welcome to Outside the Circle, Tyler. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, brother. So happy to be here and be with you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Fairly new, as of this conversation, fairly new to Nashville. You just did some moving, so that's the perfect segue to our first question. Always, we like to start with the cliche. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, and how important music was in your household. Things like that.
Awesome. Yeah. So growing up, I'm from Portland, Oregon. Lived there till I was about 17 and got signed to Warner Brothers Records by David Foster when I was 17. Moved down to LA and just kind of went back and forth from Southern California for all this time. I'm 39 now, so a lot of years. And I grew up just listening to so many different types of music. My mom was a guitar player, still is, and a songwriter, and I always wanted to be like her. And I kind of just had a dream of doing music and being a writer, really. I love singing, but it was like writing was everything to me, and that was kind of my passion. And Portland was a really cool place to grow up. It was the music scene was a lot better when I was growing up. Now it's like since the pandemic and a couple other things, it's died down a little bit. But I never dreamed of really living in Nashville. Like I kind of always thought it was such a cool place. Never saw myself living here. And over the past however many years, I just like been doing a lot of country and really loving making country music. And that was kind of my passion. And then just signed a deal and ended up being the right place to come. So here I am and happy to be here. I love it.
Nice, nice. So let's start with LA a little bit. So I as well lived in Los Angeles for a few years, chasing that music slash Hollywood slash whatever dream. It's a hell of a city, hell of a business out there.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, do you have a brother? Are you yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, when I was doing my research there, I saw that. So mom being a guitarist, songwriter, um, moving down to LA, like what was that experience like being, I guess really being so young? Because when I moved, I was 19, so I felt that, but 17 is very different than 19 still. So yeah, what
Yeah.
was that LA experience like for you?
Well, I mean, it was incredible when I first got there. You know, you're so like shocked that you think it's the coolest thing ever. And but I remember like about around 19 and 20 years old, because I had got signed to a production company when I was 15, I had about 5 years, 4 or 5 years where I was like really working on, I was in the studio all the time and working on music constantly. And I just started feeling like the whole LA scene and the pop scene, that it was just not for me. And I really wanted the depth of like my writing and my style to be recognized a little bit more and just kind of make that more my direction. So I started seeing more pushback from that. And that's when the rub started coming with Los Angeles and me, because it just wasn't my vibe anymore. I've always loved music for the instruments and for the good lyrics and the great production. And it was just like, you start to see that the business that it was that it is now, but it was even then you could see it turning into more of what it is now, and I just didn't like it, man. And so I really battled with it going back and forth from LA. I'd moved back to Portland. I think I moved like 7 times back to Portland. I went overseas. I lived so many different places, and I just wanted to find my kind of my town and my vibe. And yeah, man, but it was good. You know, LA, Southern California, it brought me a lot of good things too, a lot of great connections and great friends. So I miss it at times, but man, I'm so happy where I'm at now. Like this is 10 times better.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the most important part, right? That you had your experiences, you made your connections, um, but you're finding your way, right? Like LA is a town where you could lose sight of your way real quick.
Yeah.
So no, that's awesome, and sometimes it takes going home 7 times to finally hit the ground running. And um, I guess we kind of talked on it, like moving at 17 and with Warner and all of that. But when did you know that like music was gonna be the thing that you were gonna do?
It was actually like I always wanted to play basketball. Me and my twin brother, like we love ball. I'd play like 8 hours a day. You know, it was definitely my passion. I thought I was going to the NBA, and what I didn't realize was like, you know, as you hit high school, I was like a little weed head, and I was just showed up to tryouts high. Like I was kind of unaware of the program that high school basketball was, and how you had to be a great defender. You had to be great at offense. I was just a one-on-one player, like go out there and shake everyone. And once that dream kind of got shattered, then it was like me and my brother were just really good at music, and it just kind of like happened. It was a crazy story how it happened. We were at a Boys and Girls Club, and the radio station heard us, and that turned into them offering us a contract. And we sent that contract down to some guys in LA, and it just kept like going until we got signed. But I knew once I think people started really caring and going like, man, you're so good. And I was like, well, I really love writing, so if I can write, then this is it. I love doing this. And then the passion grew I got infected for sure.
Yeah. Um, Portland has an NBA team, right? The Trailblazers, the Blazers. Yeah. So we're based out of New Jersey. Um, I'm probably about 20 minutes out of Philly. So I claim to be a 76ers fan, but it's last week wasn't too kind to me, but but yeah, no, that's sometimes it takes that one dream and just realizing, for whatever reason that path wasn't for you. And you keep mentioning the writing and having that depth in your writing and that being what you liked and loved about what you were doing. What does that process look like to you, the whole songwriting side of it?
So it's now like when I was growing up, I just would write every single day. It's all I wanted to do. And I wrote so many songs. And now it's kind of like something has to hit me a little bit. I have to be passionate about it. And so it's like, and now I'm patient with it, and I just kind of wait, but I want it to be something that's really happening in my life, or just a perspective I have on something. Like it definitely has to be true to me, because I kind of like I gas out, you know what I mean? Like I'll write half a song, and if I'm not really into it and really passionate about it, then I'll stop, like writing half a song and be like, oh, it's a cool idea, I'll get back to it at some point. But when I'm really passionate about it, I'll write the whole song, I'll write a bridge, I'll finish it out. So yeah, it's got to be something that means something to me.
Yeah. And that authenticity, I feel like we talk about it all the time. It's the most important part of being an artist, right? It's you could, and not to bash on the songwriting community of any regards, but you talk about like the pop music coming out of LA, and you could show up at 12 o'clock, write for an hour, go home, and that could be the next big hit. But people know when people feel the authenticity in the artist, and it makes such a difference sometimes that you gotta write what you want to, and yeah, no, I'm all about that.
I totally agree, bro.
Yeah. So your brother being a musician as well as your mom, when you were growing up, was there like that like family bonding writing styles going on, like especially your mom being a songwriter?
Me and my mom, well, me and my brother and my mom, we all would kind of write together at different times. But yeah, it wasn't like, I don't think my brother had as big of a passion in songwriting, like, and he does love it, and he is a great writer, but I was like obsessed, so I would always kind of be like sitting there just like by myself going crazy. And then he would be in the other room like riffing and running, doing the craziest riffs, gospel riffs and stuff. And we just kind of and he's a great dancer. I wasn't really much of a dancer. So he put his focus, I think, more on those things. And I went deep into writing. Me and my mom, we definitely, like, we have some songs that we've written together. And yeah, but yeah, we all love writing. I mean, my brother's now, like, he writes all the time. And my mom still writes with me. My goal is, like, once all my stuff takes off more and more, that her and I are just writing together constantly, because I love writing with her.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I was going to get to. So, so taking the family out of it for a second, are you, especially now being in Nashville, are you doing like the whole co-write thing in general, or do you prefer to be on your own and then you got your mom for backup?
Yeah. Well, I am doing the co-write thing with a couple guys who I really respect and I have a great bond with. But Brandon Sams, Marty James, but I love writing by myself. Like, if I can get a track and just go home and dive into it and find something in my life that is relative and that really is me, that's my typical way. But I also like getting in with guys like that, because then it offers a different side. But those are usually the ways I would do it, is like, I have to feel like a bond with those people. I don't like writing with people that aren't friendly. What I mean? That's not my thing.
Yeah. Well, that's important. The best song is going to come from the best environment, right? So like, you could walk in a room with 3 of the greatest writers to ever touch an instrument, but if you're not vibing, it's not going to be as great. So yeah, no, that's cool. That's important. So I want to jump into the songs themselves. So I think that's probably a good transition point to take our break and play the song we're going to play for you. Why don't you go ahead and introduce it for us, and then we'll talk about it when we
come back. It's Love from a Son?
Yeah. Okay,
so this song, Love from a Son, you guys, is my next single, comes out June 14th. And yeah, man, it's about my dad, my son, and God. So this is Love from a Son. Check it out. I hope you enjoy it.
17 years old, I was drowned in an ocean of emotion. Daddy did all he could with the hand he was dealt him where he stood. But it wears on a man when you come from a small town and you're held down. Hell, he tried and he cared, but he flew on a broken wing and a prayer, yeah. One day I got a call and he said he was giving up life, so I ran to his side. He told me as he held me so tight that there ain't nothing like the love from the sun. In your darkest times, he'll remind you exactly where you're from. And he'll change the path to point you to the man you can become. Oh, there's nothing like the love from the sun. I was 30 years old when a good Lord sent a blessing of a baby boy. Never knew I could raise myself, let alone raise a little child. But I knew pray every day for the strength I can guide him to the light. And every night when I go to sleep, I hold his hand as he drifts so deep. All I want is to show him I'll never leave. 'Cause there ain't nothing like the love from the sun. In your darkest times, he'll remind you exactly where you're from. And it changed the path to point you to the man you can become. Oh, there's nothing like the love from the sun. Forget that day when you saved me. I was broke. Found a path to the greatest love with the Father of us all. Now I know what I'm called to do is to testify what he brought me through. And I'm so in love. Yeah, I'm so in love. Darkest times I'm reminded exactly where I'm from. And it changed the path to point me to the man I have become. Oh, there's nothing like the love. Oh, there's nothing like the love, yeah. No, there's nothing like the love from the sun.
All right, so let's talk about Love from a Son. You kind of went into it a little up front, being about your dad, your son, and God. And, what was well, I guess the obvious inspiration behind that, but what was the inspiration for getting that song out for you?
So this was a tough one for me because, the first verse is about my dad, and like, I never really wanted to write a song about my dad. We just, growing up, he wasn't around as much as I really wanted him to be. And we kind of patched our relationship up as I got into my 20s. And I just didn't ever want to embarrass him. Yeah, I didn't want to make him feel like I was sweating that anymore. Like I love him so much, and what happened in the past happened in the past. But he had a massive stroke last year, and he's not really the same anymore. And my label came to me and challenged me to write something about these three different things. And they're the three most important things in my life. Well, obviously just major things that happened to me. And we tied it all in, Love from a Son, and the last chorus, as you heard, was Love from the Son. And the first verse was just about my dad not being around as much, but when we patched up our relationship, it was incredible. And then the second verse is about my son, who just changed my life. And Leo is like, he's the coolest kid. He's 9 years old. He's the best. And when I had him, it made me focus and lock in and be a better human and learn how to be a great dad. And then the last verse is about God, and kind of when I found God, I overdosed on crack when I was 20 years old, and now I'll have 20 years actually on July 4th, but sobriety.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
But I just, in my journey, I found God and been walking with him for a long time. And, I just wanted to find a cool way to spin that all. So the last chorus is, there ain't nothing like the love from the Son. And Yeah, this song just means probably more to me than most songs I've ever written, just because of those three things. And I was talking earlier about it. And it's like before we mixed it, and probably like is going through the mixing and mastering process, as you've heard, like
Yeah.
you want it to sound so good, and you're just waiting for it to sound epic, and it finally does. And now I listen to it, and I have these moments where I'm just like almost in tears, because you just are reflecting all these massive moments in my life. So yeah, man, it's a special song to me for sure.
Yeah, this is a great song. Usually at this point in the interview, Brian will start talking about the production side. He's an audio engineer by trade, so he loves all of that stuff. And I always focus on the song itself, the meaning, the lyrics, the emotional side of it, I guess. And um while I don't have any kids of my own yet, hopefully, knock on wood, um, I found myself going through somewhat of the same journey along with you in this song. Um, I as well, I didn't know my dad till I was 16, so I totally caught on to the growing and forming that bond, and how important that is now. And I'm 36 now, 37 now. I don't know, my birthday was not that 36, I don't know, whatever I am. But the having the last 20 years of being reconnected with my dad really made a difference to me. And I am recently finding my way with God, and I was just baptized in March. So
Oh, bro,
I I this song could not have come at a better time into my life. So thank you for that first and foremost.
that's
But
so cool, man.
yeah,
Thank you
so
so much.
I again, we talk about that authenticity, right? It's yeah, that's the
Man,
most important thing. And yeah, this song really checks all those boxes for me, and it's a heck of a song, man.
thank you so much, brother. And that's the power of God, is like all of this, the way it came together it was such a miracle. And the way that it's touched people's lives, it's not even out, just coming out. And it's like, it's incredible. I'm getting such good feedback, and I mean, we're playing in prisons, and we're doing this prison tour this summer. And I'm getting written all the time from people who said, my son, like you touched their life, or my husband, you touched their life when you sang that song. And it's just the message is really, there's a lot of guys who like don't have a song for them. Like,
Yeah,
we don't have an anthem for the stuff that we've been through. And I
yeah,
really wanted to write a song like that. So I'm glad that it comes across, man. That's great.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I could probably go on and just keep talking about literally everything that's going on in life right now, and how perfectly timed this has been in my life. So,
Oh, that makes
um,
me feel so
yeah,
good. Thank you,
no,
brother.
it's you mentioned June 14th. So, as of recording this, it hasn't officially been out yet, but as of people listening, it will have been released. So, so everybody listening, go hit pause, go listen, and come back. So, Love from a Son, kind of a series of singles that you have coming down the line, as well as the first being Everything Between back in April. How has the responses been, I guess, so far, really, between Everything Between and Love from a Son, and just kind of what that future of releases look like?
Incredible. I mean, we've had nothing but good things. The songs kind of speak for themselves. I'm not saying it with an arrogance or anything, but we put a lot of really, really hard work into these. And I'm not just like a perfectionist with songwriting, but I'm also really a perfectionist with production as well. And Dave Baker, who produced it, is one of my really good buddies. And he brought in the best musicians in Nashville. So everyone playing on these records are just beasts, but also the mixing of it, Peter Mokran mixed it, and it's just it has this like classic country sound with kind of some newer soul to it. And so, yeah, man, the reception has been great. And man, I'm so excited for people to hear what's coming because we have like 8 singles just ready to drop and they're already done. So the next one is actually kind of what started this whole journey. So we'll be announcing that soon, and we're just going to keep dropping them, and then eventually we'll do the EP or an album, however we choose to go with it.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of having eight singles ready to go is kind of I feel like a lot of the time, whenever we kind of touch on that subject, a lot of the responses, I don't know, maybe there's one coming down the line. So to be ready and to have this plan is I mean, it's more testament to you, right? That you're ready to put your name out there and make a
Oh
statement. And
yeah.
yeah.
I will not stop until it happens, until I get to a place where the music is heard all over the world and we're touring and we're doing it big like that because hard work pays off, but also, I feel like I deserve it. I've worked for a lot of years in the business and I know what I have to offer, but I just think that the industry needs it. The industry needs good music and people who are good role models. And I want to be that, not just for kids, but like for our peers. I love a lot of the music that's out, but I want to contribute to it in a different way and kind of play in my own lane and bring something that I don't feel like is there. So that's my goal, man.
Yeah. Well, I always say that the world has enough there's already a Morgan Wallen, there's already a Luke Combs, but now the world just needs to know Tyler Conti, right? That's
Yeah,
the
man.
that's the goal. So you mentioned this prison tour that you got coming up in the summer here. I kind of want to dive into that to know a little more about that. But first and foremost, though, what does a live show look like for you? What could people expect when they come see you?
So I mean, we play with the full band, background singers, and we do a good mix of like, all my stuff, but then some really cool country covers, and then we do some soul covers too, and yeah, man, it's just I don't like obviously lip sync and anything like everything's live, everything is right there. And yeah, it's just about having a party, a good time and everyone dancing and having a blast. And then we dive into getting a little bit more serious. And it definitely depends on the venue. Like when we play the prison thing, it's a lot more of a ministry. So
Mhm.
it gets a lot deeper than we would at other shows.
Yeah. Do you go into those shows with a full band as well?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And how's that reception? Like it's received well, everybody.
And it's
Yeah.
one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had in my life. I mean,
Yeah.
to look into the eyes of, it's like it's rare that you ever do a show where it's all guys or all girls, like that just doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
that part is like strange off the jump. But then once, and obviously a lot of the guys that we play for have killed people, so it's like that part is tough. And I try to not really think about anyone's offense, what they've done. My main thing is to go in there and just bring the word of God and like bring them hope. Our goal is that most of these guys are going to be back on the streets and one day at least, and we want to bring them some hope and inspiration so that when they get back out there, they're making good choices and then they're just not forgotten. And that's our mission, man. So it's so rewarding, dude. Like these guys come up and hug you, and you just can feel the pain, and you can feel that you've blessed them, and it's an honor, man.
Yeah. No, I think that's super cool that you're doing that. And um you said it, that, they get forgotten a little bit, right? And it's we people make mistakes, people do things. it's not up to us to judge anyone. It's not up to us to determine what type of person they are, but um, bringing all that hope and inspiration, that's such a, I don't know. I mean, that's so cool. I commend that a lot. And it takes to be able to do that on yourself. That's a big commitment for you. So that's so cool, man. I really dig that.
Yeah, it's worth it for sure.
Cool, cool. Um, all right, so you mentioned you got these singles ready to go. You've got a whole list here coming. Anything else coming on down the line you want to touch on? Any?
There's a bunch of stuff, but yeah, we're just kind of waiting to unleash it. We
Yeah,
have like a whole plan and a marketing plan. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but right now we're just so focused on Love from a Son and kind of really, really bringing that to people's homes. I want that to be something this summer that a lot of guys and girls, everyone could listen to and feel like, that's an anthem and it's a song that I love that we can incorporate God into our music. Like you don't get to hear that as much these days, and when you do it, it can be done like kind of cringy. So
yeah,
I love that it's done in like a cool way, and that's what we're focused on, man. We want Love from a Son to hit.
yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, we could kind of dive into that a little bit. The I mean, I'll be honest, like I said, I'm just starting my I'm probably a couple years into my journey, like for real, but just starting the baptism not that long ago, about 2 months ago now. Um
Beautiful, man.
the you're right that, and a lot of times in music or um it could come off a little pushy, a little cringy, a little, whatever, um but we need it, right? We need to put it out there. We need to know that whether it's in our music, whether it's in our scriptures, whether it's in our TV shows, whatever it is, we gotta be about it and find him in everything. And yeah, man, I think that's, I don't know. I'm very excited to see what comes down the line for you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you so much.
Yeah. So with that, where can our listeners go to find you online?
So we got the website, tylercontimusic.com. And then I'm on all socials with Tyler Conti Music. And still trying to build up my TikTok because I suck at that. As I've gotten like older, I'm like, it's so funny to me, man. Social media, like I just have never been good at it. Was never someone who liked to post anything. But now I'm kind of seeing the value in just staying connected with people, and I'm gonna get better at it. So that's kind of like my vow this year is like I gotta get on my social and really do a better job.
Yeah. Yeah, I created a TikTok for the podcast, and I think I put like 3 posts up in like 2021, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this.
It's tough,
Yeah.
man. It's tough, dude.
Yeah,
It's not
I'll
easy.
stick to the what are we considered millennial, the Facebook and the Instagram. I don't need any of this Gen Z whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, Tyler, man, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you, chatting with you, and I mean, like I said, Love from a Son. At the time of this coming out, it will be released in the world, so I'm super stoked to see people latch on to this. And um, I said it before, we have all the Luke Combs and all that, so I'm excited for Tyler Conti. So it's been an absolute pleasure, man, chatting with you.
Dude, same, brother. It's a total pleasure, and you're so cool, man. And come back anytime you want me, bro.
All right, so that was our interview with Tyler Conti. Yeah, man, like we said at the beginning or going into the interview, another really cool one. Super down to earth guy, and I really connected with the song.
Yeah, Love from a Son is such a great song. Obviously we just played it and everybody heard it, but um, kind of breaking those verses down. The first verse being about his dad, then second about his son, and then the third about finding his way back in his faith, and kind of cool to see the use of sun, and how he kind of webbed that all together. Yeah, no, such a phenomenal song.
Yeah, no, the true artistic songwriter really came out in that one.
Yeah, yeah, and the it's such a different topic that I don't think we've heard anything even remotely close to until talking to Tyler. But he did that prison tour, playing those shows in those prisons and stuff, and I mean, it's such, I can only imagine how rewarding those experiences were, and being able to bring like hope and inspiration, and we talked a lot about him finding his faith and stuff, and how he was able to bring all that together. But yeah, Pacific Northwest turn LA turn Nashville turn, finding his way in life. And I think everyone at some level could relate to Tyler, so hopefully everybody enjoyed it as much as I did talking to him.
Yeah, man. Like I said, another really great one, and definitely looking forward to seeing more from Tyler Conti. And if you do, make sure you follow him on all of his social media, music listening platforms. Definitely want to thank him for coming on the show. We'll leave you today with another track from Tyler Conti, Everything Between.
It's not about the birthday gifts or how we plan our anniversary. Yeah. It's not about another trip or how the lights will shine on Christmas Eve. Oh, some people think that love is in a picture, but no one ever talks about the frame. Like the flowers need rain. It's in the little things you do every day. All of the blood, the sweat, the tears along the way. It's in the thread that holds the sweater by the sea. And when I think about what carries out the dream, it's everything between. It's everything between. It's not about the finish line, wishing that we had a perfect start. It's about the miles that test our will and question all the love that's in our heart. Oh, some people say that beauty's in a diamond, but no one ever talks about the rain. Take a look behind the scene. It's in the little things you do every day. All of the blood, the sweat, the tears along the way. It's in the thread that holds the sweater by the seam. And when I think about what carries out the dream, said when I go to bed, the only thing that matters is that I got you right here by my side. Baby, you're my ride or die. Yeah. It's in the little things you do every day. All of the blood, the sweat, the tears along the way. It's in the thread that holds the sweater by the sea. And when I think about what carries out the dream,